Lady Lee here back with another video. Season 2, episode 7 of Insecure, Hella Disrespectful. So the show opens up with Issa telling Molly what happened. Molly was saying pretty much she should go and retaliate. Molly then goes on to tell Issa that she is still sleeping with Dro. And Issa said she thought that was going to be a one-shot thing. But according to you all been watching, you notice it has not been a one shot thing. Issa's on the bus and she comes across the Mexican kid that stole her food from the earlier episodes. She knows that he is studying for the PSAT, and she mentions, why don't he come to We Got Y'all, because they can really help him practice and get prepared for the test. He goes on to mention that Vice Principal Gaines told him and the other Mexican kids that the program was full, so there was no space. Lawrence is at work. Him and Apartha, I guess that's her name, Apartha, is mentioned that they had went out to have drinks. And yeah, so one of the co-workers had asked him were they a thing. He said no. And yeah, Molly is still in Chicago. She is riding around with the little rail character. He exposes her to Garrett's popcorn, which is legendary, known in Chicago as some of the best popcorn you will have ever tasted. And she is in love. So Molly has set up a meeting to meet with the heads of the firm to talk negotiations and giving her a raise or even a promotion on her job. Lil Rel is pretty much telling her to be prepared because he is coming to LA in a couple of weeks and he would like for her to take him out and show him around. Lawrence and Apata is talking about not sharing their personal business relationship at work, and they continue to agree to hang out. Meanwhile, Issa comes up with a plan to help get more of the Mexican kids from the school to get involved. She shares her plan with Frida, and Frida is happy because Issa finally came to her senses and realized what she'd been saying all these past weeks, that she wanted to get involved. Get the Mexican kids involved. So Molly is back in LA, and the fool Dro got keys. Did you all pick up on that? I did notice that Dro just walked in with groceries and keys like he paying rent. So Dro is pretty much, asking Molly how the trip ran, and they get on Derek's birthday dinner, which is coming up. He goes and tell Molly that his wife Candace is pretty much coming. You all know Molly and Dro been messing around this whole entire time, and now his wife is coming back into the picture, which would be the first time Molly will see his wife since they saw each other back at the cupcake place. Dro was meanwhile Tiffany texts Issa, and she lets Issa know that they have invited Lawrence. Is that cool? Of course, Issa's doing the thing that we always do, and then she was like, oh. So she goes on Facebook to look up Lawrence's page, and then she knows that Lawrence blocked her. And then, of course, she goes into one of her Issa raps, talking about he blocked me, I'm a budding, we've been together for 5 years. And she pretty much screenshot the text that Tiffany sent to Molly. And yeah, so she go ahead and tell Tiffany, okay, invite Lawrence. Molly is meeting with the department, with the partners of the firm, and pretty much, and she told all the money she was bringing in, all the different types of business. But, they told her that's great. But in the meantime, they kind of blew her off and told her they would take all her work and stuff in consideration, not for this year's review, but for next year review. So in other words, they telling her in so many words, she ain't gonna get promoted. So Issa is talking to Mr. Gaines. She said, she feel like she, might been lacking in noticing that there wasn't a lot of Latino kids in the group and in her We Got Y'all group. And he said, well, don't you got kids? Ain't your program full? Ain't you making a difference? Well, what do you want? And then he said, oh, now you want to be like all lives matter. So he told her, get all the Latino kids you want. And then he was really nonchalant about it, jokes. So now Issa really stepping back to see really what Gaines was really doing. Lawrence runs into Apartha in the hallway, and he lets her know that he's been invited to his friend's birthday dinner, but his ex is planning to be there, and she was like, you know, we can do another night, or I can just come with you. And he said, cool. So yeah. Daniel calls Issa to apologize, and he got what I wrote down. Oh, Daniel calls Issa to apologize. He was just saying that he got caught up in the moment. He lost a little self-control, and you know, are we good? So it seemed like the conversation was gonna be okay and going good until Daniel said, I guess we both did some things, you know, that was kind of on some BS. Issa took that real left field. I took it as a joke, and I was watching it with my friends last night, and we all took it as a joke, but Issa took it to the deep end, and she was just saying, you know, oh, this is revenge stuff. Don't call me, don't text me, and she pretty much threw her phone. It is Derek's birthday party. Ma, is that you? You should come say hey, y'all. Here go my mama. Say hey, y'all. Y'all be asking about us. Say hi, Ma.
Hi.
She's stopping by on this Labor Day. Oh, yeah, happy Labor Day, everybody. Hopefully your holiday weekend was good. I had friends over last night to watch Insecure, so it was really good. I wanted to tape the discussion, but the discussion was all over the place, so it really wasn't like structured to put on my video. I guess not, but it was fun. It was really fun. We actually had a few males, not a lot of males. We had 3 males show up, but I did want to make it kind of neutral, gender neutral. I mean, even though we was out, you know, we outnumbered the men, but overall it was a good adult conversation. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying, they're at Derek's birthday party. Tiffany got signature drinks. You know, Tiffany and Derek are bougie, so they're gonna do it pretty much. Kelly is with her new boo, and Dro shows up with Candace. So now, I don't know if you paid attention, but the girl that plays Candace is actually Janae from, remember The Game, the show called The Game? Remember Janae, who was Derwin's baby mama? Okay, now she's Dro's wife in this show called Insecure. That's funny. Janae always ends up in the middle of crazy love triangles, right? So Candace and Molly exchange greetings, and it's an awkward situation. You know, she's standing next to her. She don't know what to say, and you know, Candace is like, you know of Molly, but don't think they're really good friends. So it's an awkward situation. They go to sit down, and Molly sit next to Dro, and Tiffany tells Molly she has to respect the name cards. Apparently it's name cards, is seating at the table, and that she has to respect. So Tiffany purposely did not put Molly down by Dro, but Tiffany don't know that Molly is messing with Dro, so it kind of makes sense, right? So Lawrence shows up with Apartha, and then everybody just stopped like, ooh, no, he didn't bring this heifer up in here. So, I mean, even we was like, dang, for real? Oh, that's dirt moves. So, he didn't realize it was Lawrence claimed he didn't realize it was a dinner. But if you paid attention in the different episodes, they kept saying a dinner. Are you available for a dinner? I don't know why Lawrence thought it was just like a meet up at a bar or something. And he was saying he didn't realize it was a sit down dinner. Oh, this is our partner. And he was like, oh, you want to stay? You know, you can stay. And she said, well, it's whatever you want to do. Personally, I think they all should have just left. I don't even think he should have stayed, because now we're finding out Derek and Tiffany is really Issa friends. They're not Lawrence friends. They became Lawrence friends through the relationship he had with Issa. So we was talking about that last night. We was like, you know, we feel like when the friend cuts the mate off, that the family and the friend shall also cut the mate off. Unless it's a situation where they have children, then we all have to come together as family for the sake of the kids. But other than that, if it's just a dating situation, you just cut them all off. And one of my sorority sisters said last night, Lisa, you ain't got to worry about me. I don't like nobody you dated in the past, so you ain't got to worry about me inviting them to nothing. So it was just funny. So They had to add an extra seat to the table, which seems like it was really an inconvenience because everybody had to shift because they was not prepared for Lawrence to bring a date. It wasn't meant for Lawrence to bring a date. So I don't know why Lawrence didn't ask before he just come. I think that's very rude because I'm sure they paid per plate. Anyway, so the dinner was carrying on. Molly feels left out because Dro and Candace is, doing a little couple interaction and talking to Tiffany, and they got their whole little conversation down there, and she's pretty much left out. But Molly, you're not his woman. Issa runs out. Let me see. Am I right with my notes? Let me go here. So they're carrying on. Issa runs out. Lawrence goes go out to her, and this is a conversation that should have probably took place way earlier in the season. So they did about back and forth, and Lawrence, I can't still believe you messing with Daniel, and then she was saying how he was messing with the bank teller Tasha, and it was just a lot of back and forth. There was the exchange of the word hoe, and all this back and forth. But it pretty much ends, and she was talking about some Daniel, at least Daniel got some business. You've been unemployed for the past 2 years. So she really was hitting him below the belt too. So a part that comes out, and they goes off. So Dro leaves out, and Molly has to, Dro leaves from the table, and Molly goes behind him. They're talking about how this is real, Molly's saying this is real awkward for her. She know that he's married. She knows that, they don't have that interaction because of whatever, because of the nature of their relationship. And then he was saying, well, I'm sorry I haven't, been able to talk to you at the end of the table, which is just the back and forth leads to them having sex in the public bathroom. Nasty. We don't know what's clean. We don't know what's going on in there. So she leaves out the bathroom, and she's greeted by Issa. So Issa pretty much pull her dress down, fix her hair, and sends her on the way. And meanwhile, she snatched the tag off of Issa's dress, and Issa said, well, I'm trying to take that back. Of course, Issa's trying to take that back because if she can't afford her $5,500 for her car, how the hell is she going to afford a dress? So, of course, she's taking that dress back after tonight. So anyway, I'm almost done, Mama.
I seen the picture last night too. You done went overboard.
No, I'm doing this review. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, Molly ends up talking to her mom, and she said, she just asked her again. She told her I needed a moment, but I just want to know, why did you stay with Dad after he cheated on you? And she pretty much said, she said, you might think this is stupid, but she said, I loved him. And she said, he made me feel more special than he made me feel hurt. It was a mistake. It happened. They were able to work their differences out, and they pretty much moved on. It shows Dro texting Molly again. He was saying he won't be back into town until sometime next week. Can he see her again? And Molly just decides she doesn't want to do this anymore. So Molly knew the whole entire time that this situation with Dro was not right. I don't know why she, psyched herself out to think it was okay. But of course, it's just going to be certain things. He will always tend to his wife. No matter what she do, he will always fall back to his wife because, although he said their relationship is open, which I really don't think it is, I think he's lying. I just think what it is, Candace travels a lot for whatever reason, and he's just, in his free time, and he just like to dabble when she's away. So Issa gets home, and there is a notice on her door, and it's saying increase of rent. Now, somebody said, I saw on social media, somebody said they was able to zoom into this letter, and it says that the rent was going up by $60. Well, apparently, Issa can't do that extra $60 because she looked at that burnt mark on the ceiling, and she just went bananas. She just started throwing stuff, tearing stuff up. She probably should have went to Lauren's house and threw stuff and tore his stuff up versus her, tearing up her own stuff. But that's how it ends. So really, this show really, that sums the show up. It really just shows how everybody is at their breaking point. Molly is at her breaking point. Lawrence is at his breaking point. Issa is at her breaking point. So this should have been like the hella breaking points. That should have been in the name of the episode because everybody's at this point. They're just tired. They're just fed up. And what I was saying last night with my with the group I was with watching the show, I said Issa and Lawrence are relationship people. They don't know how to be single. They don't know how to be out in the street and be on dirt. It's just not in their nature. They're relationship driven. They just like to be in steady, committed relationships. So of course this is not working out for them from either way. We don't know what's gonna happen. The season finale is next week. It would be nice if they would make the season finale an hour, but I doubt it. But it looks like from just the details, Molly look like she's gonna start looking at some other law firms to work at. Lawrence is gonna make his way back to Issa Apartments for some strange reason, and he's gonna end up doing a race with our partner. So we're gonna see where their relationship goes. But that is it. That is all. Like I said, I hope your Labor Day was a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for your continuous support, and stay tuned for more videos.